I'm excited to be back. It's something that I'm looking forward to. Obviously, a new challenge for me, something that I prepared for and I think I'm ready for. And like I said, excited to be back in Boone. Great fans, great university, and winning tradition. And obviously, can't wait to meet the guys and start working with them already.
Okay, we'll take our first questions here from Ethan Joyce, Winston-Salem Journal.
Hey, Frank. I guess first off, Sean mentioned, I guess last year when he got hired as head coach, he had talked to you about potentially being OC and the timing wasn't right. So what kind of went into this year and the timing kind of lining up a little bit better for you to take this job?
Well, I thought the timing this time was right on time, and the reason I say that is because, obviously in this profession, you're always trying to get better and move up in the business and, just trying to challenge yourself and the opportunity to be an offensive coordinator doesn't come along much. And, we got to talk this time and the opportunity was there. And this time I said to myself, well, we're not getting any younger. Years are going by and this is not a great opportunity, something that I've prepared for and I'm ready for and excited about. So I said, let's give it a shot. And then obviously, I'm grateful for Coach Clark thinking highly of me and giving me the opportunity. And I'm excited to get started.
I know you've worked with Sean before, but you'd also worked with Sat for a good chunk of years now at this point. What was it like, I guess, to kind of take that step away from a guy that you've really kind of been working under and getting to know these, for the better part of the last decade?
Yeah, it's hard. We have a great relationship, a great working relationship, and we've won a lot of games together. And, but it comes time where you want to challenge yourself and continue to grow as an individual, as a coach, and the opportunity was there. So, it's always tough. Goodbyes are always tough, especially when you're somebody you appreciate and it's looked after you and always taking care of you. But again, we're working for another great coach here in Coach Clark, and I'm excited. Got a great relationship working with him when I was here back at the 6 years at App State. So, I was excited about it. I know who I'm dealing with. I know what type of person he is, his morals, his goals, and they're very similar. So I was excited to come back to Boone and be the offensive coordinator. And that's something that, like I said, I've been working towards to and looking forward to.
Last one for me. You haven't been gone long, but there's been a lot of different eyes and a lot of different impacts on the quarterback room. And I wonder for you, kind of coming into a room you're not that far removed from, but it's changed quite a bit. What's kind of those top priorities of evaluating and kind of moving forward from there?
Well, I think the first thing is obviously getting to know the guys that are here now. Obviously, that group that was here when I was here, they're gone now for the most part. So, but excited about the new faces here, and we're both starting from scratch. So they're going to learn the system that we're putting in, and I'm gonna learn about them. They'll learn about me. But I think we'll be fine. I think at the end of the day, kids are resilient. They'll learn the new system quick. They'll be able to adapt, and especially to that position, the quarterbacks. They're very smart guys, and they're very in tune to what we got to do offensively. So, I'm looking forward to it. I already met the guys. It seemed like very nice young men, and they're excited. I'm excited as well. So we can't wait to start talking ball with them and start practicing.
All right, we'll go next to David Ware, 24/7 Sports.
Frank, great to see you back. There's so much discussion in a situation like this that goes on around the opportunity as it relates to your decision process. Tell us a little bit about, for you, there's some obvious things. The university, Sean, the program, but there's also got to be some rationale for you to make the choice you make to come back. When you and Sean were talking with one another, what were the things that he saw as the benefits of this opportunity for you right now at this point that really kind of resonated with you while you guys talked?
Well, one of the things obviously is knowing the offense and the Appalachian State offense and being part of it for 6 years here with Coach Sat, and then going to Louisville and doing the same thing there and having the success that we've had. We've been blessed with that, and understanding what we're trying to do offensively and continue to do those things and try to get better at them as well. I mean, it's been great. I mean, I don't have to tell you guys the success that the offense has had when we were here to Coach Drink and Coach Clark this past year with Coach Peterson running the offense. But and I want to continue that, and that's my goal, to continue the success on the offense, understanding what we're trying to do, what we want to do offensively, and try to make it somewhat better. So that's something that is a challenge to me, challenge to everybody on the offensive room. So we're looking forward to it, and we're excited about the possibility of being even better as an offense. And that's something that really enticed me to come here and be able to lead the offense as the offensive coordinator. And I want to say, I can't say enough, very grateful and thankful to Coach Clark for the opportunity.
You mentioned being able to go to Louisville and run that same scheme. But you're running it there, and the ACC is certainly a high level of football. You saw some great defenses, some of the best defenses in the country. What were the things you learned about that App State-born scheme as you went to that next level and ran it? And what were maybe some of the key learnings you take away from that in terms of enhanced level of athlete, enhanced level of defense, and maybe some new things you bring with you?
Well, David, I got to tell you this. I always say this, man, being a former high school coach and for 16 years, and I always say this, and I'm a firm believer, this ball is ball. And the only thing that changes sometimes is the level of talent, whether it's size, whether it's speed, whatever it is, that's the only thing that changes. But the X's and O's of it is still the same. We always joke around and say, as long as they have 11 on the field, we'll be in good shape because we know where they're going to be at. So we were excited, when we got to Louisville, to be able to run our offense and still continue to have success. And we have guys there that they're real playmakers, and just like App State has, and we have playmakers here. I mean, there's a lot of familiar faces still here from when the last 6 years where I was there, the last couple of years before I left, and they're still here. So those guys are older, they're better, they're faster, they're stronger. And you guys know that the success they've had against bigger Power 5 schools has been a part of the talent that's here at App State. So, you just learn, and, in the ACC, whether it's the Sun Belt, whatever, it doesn't, I mean, at the end of the day, like I said, it's ball is ball. And, we're just going to just draw it up, and hopefully players make plays work. And that's a fact that I've learned. And sometimes when they're a little bit faster and bigger, they make it work a little bit better. So.
When you got to Louisville and you were in a situation similar to the one you find yourself in here with some new quarterbacks, you're not familiar with them, you guys have to get to know each other quickly heading into spring ball. What are some of the things you do in terms of getting to know those guys? Because everybody's personality is a little bit different. Everyone comes from a different experience personally. How do you do that on an individual level first with each quarterback, and then build that room collectively? Because knowing a little bit about how you do things, it's a very collaborative approach between everybody in the quarterback room. So, give us a little, maybe, kind of 30,000 foot view on how you go about that.
Well, the biggest thing is, obviously when you come in new and you're meeting new guys, just like it happened the last 2 years for me, it's just getting to know those guys, letting them know what's going to be expected of them, and the expectations in the offense as quarterbacks, as leaders, that we have to continue to always, I would say leadership is 365, 24/7. It never stops, on and off the field. So once you give them the expectations, then they understand what they need to do. And that's the biggest thing is, and knowing them personally, getting to know them, talk to them, seeing what makes them go. And once you feel that as a coach, I feel that now, okay, so now I understand how he works, how he operates, what's his thought process and so forth. And you can help them spend a lot of time in the film room. Right now, we're going to start talking some ball with them, and and the opportunities that we have is explaining the offense. And it's a very quarterback friendly offense. So I think they're going to be fine. They're going to catch on quick. Like I said, kids are resilient. They'll understand what we're trying to do. But the biggest thing is, again, it's just letting them know, hey, this is what's going to be expected of you. And once the kids know that, I think that they can excel and work towards it.
Last question for me. Having had the opportunity to watch a lot of practices at App State, one of the things that always struck me was Sat was always really, pretty good about kind of laying back, watching the offense run. He certainly had his moments of input when he wanted to, but by and large, it was really mostly your voice that the offense was hearing. It wasn't just the quarterbacks. You were directing the scheme as kind of a whole. Do you feel like that really kind of puts you in a position you're very comfortable moving in as full-time offensive coordinator, because you were already doing a lot of the things I would have expected an OC to be doing?
Sure. And it was, again, grateful to coach, always giving the opportunity to that's his style. He always lets guys coach. And I think you grow from that and you learn as a coach, and giving me the range to be able to handle the passing game and be able to talk to everyone in the skill position. Once we're putting the pass game together, I think those are the things that you learn as a coach and get better at, and really relate to players a little bit better, relate to your colleagues as well, and understand the run game. Obviously coach call the plays and you learn from it, and certain situations, that's where he likes to go to. And I'm right along the same thought process. I mean, that's one of the reasons why we work so great together for 10 years as, coaching with coach, going back to the days at FIU. So, I mean, this is, again, you're exactly right. It kind of got me ready to where I'm at right now. And, it's just an expectation that I have for myself is going to be high. And obviously the App State family, the App State fans, the community is going to have expectations as well to win championships and continue winning football. And that's something that we plan on doing. So I'm ready. I'm excited. I'm ready for the challenge. And I'm looking forward to it.
Thanks, Frank.
All right, we'll take our next question from Brett Strelo, appstatesports.com.
Hey Frank, good to see you again. I'll chime in with
Same
one.
here, Brett.
Obviously, you've got deep South Florida ties, and a lot of App State's roster has had some very talented guys from South Florida. Just can you elaborate or kind of share some insight into how a place that's probably pretty different from where you've got a lot of your base, and maybe even a lot of guys on the roster have their base, what makes Boone kind of special, for you, and a place that you found the success you found, and just the kind of community and stuff of what makes it a good fit and special for you?
Oh, you just said it right there. I think the community, the people, when I first got here, obviously this is new to me, coming from Miami, Florida to the mountains of Boone, North Carolina, was a culture shock for me, but it's something that I got used to, and I really love this town. And I've always said, and even when we got to Louisville, I used to tell a sad joke around all the time. I say, Coach, man, I miss old Boone, so. But it's a great place, great people, opportunity to meet a lot of you guys. You guys always welcome me with open arms and develop a great friendship with you guys. And a lot of the administration here, a lot of the faculty, I mean, just great people. Everywhere you go, everyone is always supportive of Appalachian State football. And the fan base is fantastic. It's phenomenal. It's unbelievable. It's one of the best, probably the best I've been around. So it's an easy place here. So when you bring guys, recruits here, whether they're from South Florida, kids, and I always say this, kids are resilient. They're going to want to play football. It doesn't matter where they go. It just gives them an opportunity to go play and excel and be able to get a good education here at App State. So they come, they see the plays, they see the fan base, they see the love for football, and they say the parents see it. And that's one of the biggest things that we've always had. Parents love Boone. Always fall in love with the place and the university. So it's not hard to get those guys to come up here. They always want to, again, play football and go somewhere where they have an opportunity to compete for championships and win championships. So App State is one of the best places there is in the country.
Thank you.
All right, we'll go next to Silas Albright with the Appalachian.
Hey, Coach. Yeah, I just wanted to ask a quick question about guys like Thomas Hennigan, Jalen Virgil, Malik Williams, receivers that were here for the last couple of years of your first stint. And just have you seen them again, and how excited are you to work with them again and see them develop?
Well, Silas, I'll tell you what, man, when I left, they were babies. They're grown men right now. I see a lot of these kids, they're bigger, and you see them and watch them on film. I said, I didn't know it was, I had to go, who is that? And then, Coach Watts says, that's Malik. And I was like, man, he looks super fast. So you're excited to come work with those guys, the great kids, great character, good football players, they're competitors, fierce competitors. To a guy like Tommy, So, Corey, those guys are exceptional talent, but competitors, and they know the App State way. They know how to win. They're always going to give their very best. So I'm excited about them. Obviously there's a very talented roster here. I think the only new position would be at quarterback where, there's a transfer in Chase coming in, and some of the guys have been here. So you just get to know that room a little bit better, but I already know about the other guys, and the offensive line does a fantastic job. The receivers and running backs, I think the pieces of the puzzle are there.
All right, we'll go back to Ethan Joyce for another one.
I got a couple. I guess first off, the offense last year for App, it very much still had like some of the same bones that a Scott Satterfield App State offense had. It had like that touch of drink and what he brought. I wonder how is that tape from last season useful to you coming in as far as teaching goes, or are you kind of pointing to like 2018 App State and 2019 Louisville? Like, I guess how are you using that tape, if you're using it at all, and trying to go forward?
Ethan, that's a great question. The reason I just came from a meeting right now before I came down here with you guys, and a lot of the cut-ups were from last year. So it's the same style of offense. A lot of the principles are still there, and you got guys here that have been around. Obviously, the head coach knows the offense, and he's been here. Coach Carwell was here with us, and Coach Watts. So those are familiar faces, but the cut-ups are, we're watching these plays, and they're the same. We're still teaching off those. So, we're excited. I think it's going to be an easy transition. That's what was very pleasing about coming here, is that it's going to be an easy transition because of the offense. Pretty much the nuts and bolts of the meat and potatoes has been kept by different coaches. So we'll continue to do it, and whatever we like and is successful, we'll continue to do those things. And there'll be a couple of wrinkles here and there that we will put in, but for the most part, it's still the same.